People need to know what it is. Welcome back, people. We're going in today on just the energy card day. I told myself I was going to be a little bit more proactive with this stuff. Let's get a card for the day. And of course, cards are available. So yeah, I pulled out a couple of my bangers from the squads. Transformative Tarot. Change is in the air. Welcome to Taurus season. I'd like to welcome you to Taurus season as a Taurian from birth. Let's talk about a few things since we're here in these regards. And these are just tips for anybody. When you get a reading, when you go online to get a reading, right? It's good that you know your chart. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Miss Love. It's good that you know your chart, and not only your birth chart, but your progress chart, because people be calling out signs and stuff like that, and they may be talking to your progress chart and not your birth chart. Ideally, if you're going to do individual ones, you would actually want to listen to all 12 signs. You know what I mean? All 12 signs, because you have all 12 in your chart. So all those readings will be relative or will relate to that part of your chart. It's really funky out here, and I'm going to do my best to dispel all this funkiness out here because it sounds idiotic at the end of the day. And what I mean by that, it hasn't evolved any. People are still doing the same things, almost mechanically, robotically. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people coming into it are just lost in the sauce because they have no idea that these people are not giving them the sauce, because they haven't studied astrology, because they haven't studied the Mayan calendar. You know what I'm saying? They haven't done the legwork to be saying half the shit that they do. Now they know the signs of the cards and tarot, but they don't know the astrology. They don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, give you the little tidbits that really matter when it comes to reading. So you have to really be careful and do your research. Two of Pentacles in reverse. And we're just going to read from Santa Morte today. So this is exactly the energy I'm talking about. Not seeing eye to eye. So this might be the energy today for a couple of y'all. Not seeing eye to eye with certain things, people, places, or things. And it's something that you're not going to change your opinion from. It's just something you're going to basically hold your ground. This is a lot about standing your ground today, at the very least. You know what I'm saying? And holding your position, especially in disagreements and arguments. And it's part of, I guess, this test that everybody's going through at this time. It's really asking you to stick to your guns here. Yeah, because there's drama. There's smoke somewhere, you know what I mean? It's funny because right now is a time where you're liable to make friends just as well as enemies, new friends and new enemies. Even if these new enemies are old friends, because you've changed, because you've done something different, because you don't, quote unquote, fuck with these people no more, whatever. And it really is going to show you people's true color and nature of how either insecure they are or, separation anxiety, with all that stuff. Like they'll feel some type of way. And this is in a practical manner, because we got this two of Pentacles here. So this is like work, people at work, people you work with. Could be the home, could be people in your home. But somebody wants all the smoke. There's conflict because of this, because you don't see eye to eye. It could be anything. But fear not, this too shall pass, right? Let's get some advice on what this test is meant to kind of show us, or where we're supposed to be the frame of mind we should be in. And I think it's different from everybody. Some people you shouldn't say anything at all because you've always said something. You know what I mean? And then other people, you said nothing at all. And now it's time for you to speak up for yourself. It could be so many different ways. So you have to really figure that out for yourself. But let's get some advice on that, just in case. If you're in here, then it's going to be for you. You know what I mean? How's the Queen of Egypt doing today? Yep, 4 of Wands. There it is. Damn, the Magician and the Devil. Yikes. Look, we got majors. So with this, I mean, we got the right squad out for this. You talk about motherfuckers that want all the smoke. It would be the Combaticons, if nobody else. Onslaught, Vortex. So y'all gonna guide us through this, cause it's smoke out here. Cause where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire. Apply this to your life as it is. Don't go by nobody else's example. If you feel it, you feel it. If not, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? There's other readers who give you the dumbed down versions. There's other readers that'll maybe explain it better. 4 of Wands. This is about security. This is about something that's been built over time. This could be a home. This could be a business. This is about manifestation of that. And this is about the things that are attached to that. So this could be like harassment at the job. You know what I'm saying? Sexual harassment. Are we allowed to say that on YouTube? SA, for all you politically correct people. This could be something of that nature. Something toxic connected to that manifestation of house or home that is causing all this conflict and drama. What it's really saying is you have the ability to change the circumstance with the Magician card here. I'm gonna get one out of Fancy. I wasn't gonna use Fancy. I was gonna let her take a break. But I want one card. So today there's a bit of conflict in the air. Don't worry about it. Still got a few decks left. All you gotta do is email me and I'll give you the details. But without further ado, give me a card, please, in reference to this, of how, just some advice. I trust that you're going to fill in the blank spirit. Yeah, look at this, Tulsi. Now, she came out yesterday, or the day before, one of the days I was at the park. I think it was yesterday. The people that surround you. This is about community. This is, again, maybe a collective of people, 2, 3 or more, it doesn't matter. But more so a collective of people. It's a follow-up to that message. It's really about the people that rock with you and the people that don't rock with you. It's really about finding your soul tribe at this time. And you'll know based on the responses to your decisions that you're making, especially if you're doing things that are changing your life for the better, that doesn't involve anybody else, that is not hindering or hurting anybody else in any way, and people feel some type of way about it. You know, we're creatures of comfort and familiarity, and Taurus season, now that it's here, is going to show that to a lot of people. Change is very hard for a lot of people. Circumstances. You get so used to something or someone that, you know, you almost become addicted to them. You get addicted to it. You get attached to it in a certain way. It becomes comfortable. It becomes familiar. You don't have to change. You don't have to grow. You feel what I'm saying? You get to stay right where you are. There's no ripples in the water, so to speak. You know, there's no ruffling of the feathers. And this is really what this is saying. Whether it's home or business, because this is a place right here, the Four of Wands. This one is representing a physical, or tangible place. You feel what I'm saying? A tangible place. Somewhere that you go that you're passionate about. So this is the job that you love to go to. You know what I'm saying? This is the home that you love, that you've created. It's not in the reverse, it's upright. And the devil is in the upright too. So there's an element present in this establishment. It could be online too. You know, that's still kind of physical with the stuff that you got to use, whatever. But with the magician here as well, it's like, yo, somebody playing games. And this was the message last time too, almost. This is like a condensed form of that. The magician, even in the upright, the word I love to use with the magician is a manipulator, because manipulation is not a bad word. It just depends on the context it's being used in. I can use this power to create, and I can use this power to destroy. But the intention behind it, am I doing something maliciously because of how I feel about somebody? Because I'm not seeing eye to eye. Now, if I'm not seeing eye to eye with you, I have no problems keeping it pushing. So what? We don't share, we don't have the same values, blah, blah, blah. I can mind my business and go right about it without blinking an eye. But some people, are not like that because of the familiarity. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to change. And damn sure don't want to see you get better, because it's like with this devil energy, feels like a bit of parasitic energy that somebody has been deriving from an individual who chooses to stay in a higher octave, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say happy-go-lucky, but we can say that. Somebody who really just doesn't focus on the negative is what I'm saying. Someone who doesn't dwell in a situation longer than they need to. Is what it is, whatever happened, happened, but I'm going to keep it pushing. Some people can't do that. Some people don't, that's the one, this is where the girlfriend or the boyfriend wants to break up with you before you break up with them because of unresolved issues. You feel what I'm saying? I got to get there first. No, you can't, you can't quit. I got to fire you. You feel what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy. It's that kind of energy. You can't leave. I got to kick you out. You feel what I'm saying? It's the one up. It's like, let me get a step ahead of you on some shit to trip you up because of this not being able to see eye on certain things. The perspective hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's really kind of stuck or stubborn in their ways. And that's what this all feels like. So yeah, I knew I was on to something today when I pulled out the combaticons. Person named Swindle, Onslaught, Brawl, Vortex, and Blast Off. Like, these are the goddamn names of the combaticons who form Bruticus. So this is a forceful energy as well. It's like somebody trying to take control where it's not necessary. And this could be somebody in your community. One of these appendages is not down for the cause. You know what I'm saying? And it's really tied to something that's been built. Something that's been built from the ground up. Something that is of value, that is, the fours are more like commitments. The four corners, things that are solid, things that have structure to it. Something that has a lot of value but passion to it, passion behind it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on today in the collective. And I would say this is not just something that's just going to pop up today. This is something that's been lingering. These are energies that have been lingering that are now in the forefront. This has already been building up in the background. Somebody's already been plotting to strike the match. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not going to be like just today. Somebody's like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to mess with so-and-so because I don't like them. You know, because they dress funny, or they don't believe in Christ, or they don't practice Islam. It could be any kind of reason. You feel what I'm saying? It is usually just a matter of perspective. Somebody's dogma or the way they were raised just prevents them from being flexible enough to see another person's side of the story. You know what I mean? And just accept it for what it is. Yeah, I mean, if this is hitting home, you know. Okay. If this is hitting home, let's go back to fancy because fancy is a little bit more of a healing deck than the Santa Morte. Santa Morte, I use that for the smoke. I use that for the hookah. You feel me? So let's clean all that funky energy off. Oh no, that's not gonna work. We gonna need some ancestor help with this. Clean that shit off. Because that's what it feels like. I'm doing great today. I am I don't know, something's going on with me physically, and it's like coming from nowhere. I want to say either they sprayed the air or some shit. You know, like all these little aches pains, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just me changing a bit more. Um, can't explain it. All I know is I'm going through it. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But at the very core, it could be something as simple as, you know, the air stays on air 24/7 in the summertime. So I get these little congestions and colds. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't need no air conditioning. It's not nothing to be sorry about. It's part of the change. Like, you know, we were talking about birthing and shedding skin. Birthing process is horrific when you really look at it. You know what I'm saying? All the blood, all the pain. Shedding skin is a vulnerable place. You feel exposed. And that's how you know you're going through a transformation. So it's not a bad thing. It's just about giving yourself that space and that time to, you know what I'm saying, get that skin back. All right. Any remedy? Okay, the sun. That's beautiful. That's perfect. When the sun comes out, darkest before the dawn. That's why there's all this shadow here in the sun. You're like, the sun card should be brighter than that. Nah, if you're seeing the sun, it's because it was once dark. There was things hidden in the shadows. There's things you did not see going on. But the sun is going to bring all these shadows into the light. I got you. Okay. Malesh. Got you. And this is what I'm talking about perspective. That was a perfect example of that. You know what I'm saying? Two different perspectives of the same kind of word and how it's used. And then we could have bumped heads on it and be like, nah, we don't care about all that over here in the West. You know what I'm saying? We don't give a fuck about all that. I mean, go ahead with your little sorry. You know what I mean? It could have been something, but, you know, we about that life over here. We want to learn from other people. Whether we agree with it or not, it's something that you can take with you in case you run into it again. You know what I'm saying? Then there's a conversation to be had. And the yo seeds. So what this is really saying is, and the sun is going to nurture these seeds, whatever's going on in your life or around this situation. Dealing with family, friends. It could be anything. Shit, it could be roommates. It could be siblings. But anything closely tied, anything that has four corners or some kind of stability attached to it. Any kind of business adventure. Venture. I said adventure. Now is the time to, now that you've seen what you don't want, now that you've seen it, you should have an idea of what you do want. And now it's asking you to hone in on that. Use your awareness and the flowering stages. I think that's really going to be the highlight of this. Not to take away from the other keywords, but the flowering stage. and the input. Well, I have to do a whole video on just the Mayan calendar itself. But that'd be like that's gonna be like two weeks just to get to the basics. All right, strength in reverse. The page of pentacles. Do not be scared to start over. Do not fear the change of having to be the student again, to learn something new. The pages take things one step at a time. She's got one pentacle. It's like she didn't do all this, but only one pentacle came out of that. She's starting small. It's like having your first garden. You know what I'm saying? Starting a new job, starting a new relationship. But do not fear that because of the ego. This is the Leo card, strength, being fixed, too overly fixed, where you're struggling with not the outside world, but yourself. Trying to tame your own dragon. A luchador. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tame that dragon. I love this card. These are just beautiful cards. But now is the time to start planting those new seeds if you haven't already. This is your confirmation if you have. Because it said flowering is the key word here. And what I mean by that is it's going to take time from the seed to the bulb to the actual opening of that flower. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to take a little bit of time for that to open up. But do not let your pride and your arrogance and your ego supersede all this. Because when we know something down packed and we got it in the bag, we feel very empowered by that. You understand what I'm saying? We feel in control of things. But when we don't have that, for some people, that's a scary place because that illusion, and we are still in the blue monkey wave spell, and I told y'all about those illusions yesterday. The illusions that can be painted, the illusions of power, the illusions of control, are gonna trip a lot of people up at this time. If you're not careful, you know what I mean? Don't be one of them people that get tripped up. Your ego's, you know what I'm saying? Because of the illusion of which you think you have control over or whatever. You know, spirit will come snatch this shit right out from under you in a hot flash. God, whatever you want. You go ahead and be arrogant and think you're on top of the world and that you can treat people in places any way you want to. You feel what I'm saying? God giveth and God taketh away. That's that whole Christian verse, right? I'll go through all the books because they're all relevant in a way if you look at them. So pardon my diversity if it bothers you. Not really. But here, the flowering, the targeting, yellow seed. The thing with the yellow seed is the seed has all the information it needs for a plant to already encoded within it. Doesn't need any outside help as far as that's concerned. All it needs is the soil and the nutrients in order to put the program into action. And also, it's like in this new cycle, be mindful of where you plant these seeds now. Be mindful of who you plant seeds in. You know what I'm saying? Like literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? If you know this is a jump off, you better put a strap. Strap that thing on, or just don't do it at all. It's nothing worse than I couldn't imagine anything worse than co-parenting with somebody I do not like that would just fuck up everything. You know what I'm saying? Even the relationship with the child. It's like, sorry, Jimmy, you weren't created out of love. It was a jump off. You feel me? But the agreement was to get you here. It's the spiritual contract. Nah, we ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that. Be mindful of where you plant your seeds, your intentions at this time. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the message. And to close it out, the Yellow Warrior is saying, ask the questions that you need to ask and be fearless again. This fearlessness supersedes that ego and that stubbornness. This is the real confidence we're talking about, of you willing to step out and, sometimes go off of faith, but asking the questions. Before you go to sleep at night, ask a question, get your answer. Maybe in a dream. Ask it before you leave out in the morning and have it seen in like a billboard or a song or something like that. You really got to engage with spirit so the answers will come through you through other people and other means. And that's the importance of what we talked about before, about being able to see things from different perspectives. The messenger is going to come. It just may not look like who you think is supposed to look like. You feel what I'm saying? You looking for that big nigga in the back, and you get this small motherfucker right here. You feel what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy when it comes to the Yellow Warrior. You want to just ask the questions and put it out there and be fearless in those intentions. So this is also about these seeds, because when I went on the job interview, I'm not letting them interview me. I'm interviewing them. How long have you been here? Do you like the place? How long has it been established? What's the pay rate? What are the hours? You got to ask all the relevant questions that have to do with you. You got to advocate for yourself as much as they're going to advocate for themselves in this case, in these new beginnings. They're both going the same direction. They're both yellow. So they go hand in hand right now. Well, if I plant this seed over here, is it going to have enough sunlight? Is it going to get enough water? Is it going to get enough shade if it needs it? You know what I'm saying? Ask these questions for this. If this is a new person, well, if I get with this person and I have a kid, well, do I feel like she's a fit mother? Do I feel like he'd be a fit father? Will we be financially able to have that? You know what I mean? Even if it's just like getting an apartment together or even starting a relationship. And if there has to be a set of questions that you ask without flinching. You know what I mean? You ever have an STD? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in debt? What's your credit look like? Like all the things that are going to be important for long term, because we are in Taurus season. Taurus is going to ask you about the long term commitments in your life and investing in those long term commitments. And it's also about the senses. Not the senses with the C, but the senses with the S. Isn't that funny how they use these words? Well, anyway, I digress. Ask and you shall receive. And if you know what it is that you're asking for, it's even better. If you're not quite clear, this is asking to get clear. But when you're clear and then you ask the questions, oh, you're really playing with some power there. You're really playing with your G, you know what I'm saying? Your inner G. And you can get some things done. And you can get some things done in this time period. You know? Taurus takes the idea from Aries, that seed that Aries hands off to Taurus, puts it into the ground and nurtures it to grow. All right? So that is the last word of advice. Anything that you have going on, especially if it's new, a new idea, a new endeavor, you're going to start, it's going to reveal itself. People are going to reveal themselves. Blah, blah, blah. But the sun will come out. It's a bright day. Don't dismay. Whatever's going on, don't worry about it. This too shall pass. We are recapping right now. Don't let your pride and ego get in the way of nothing that you got going on that you have to start over. Be the student again. Pretend like you're in high school again. You know what I mean? Going out on your first date again. You got to retrace your steps. Take it back to the beginning. Don't be afraid to be in that state. It's vulnerable, but it's not. It's the best place for you to be at. And I mean vulnerable because transparent. You know what I mean? And that comes with accountability for self too. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to answer the questions. What's going on, Katrina? I'm sorry if I answer just the same way as you want the answers to your questions. You know what I mean? And be straightforward and don't waste time, because you could be letting other opportunities and possibilities slip away because you want to you know, dance around this issue or lollygag and waste everybody's fucking time. You don't want nobody doing that shit to you. You know what I mean? Let me know from the beginning. Do you see marriage or is this a jump off? Well, I just want to hook up for the night. Boom, you're out of there. And as soon as you get out of there, you run into somebody who does want that. Whereas you just fucking around, entertaining the bullshit that you just prior, you know, jump off thing. That's not what you want. Cash uh, uh, Venmo or PayPal. It's a donation based. I don't care what it is. Ooh, I don't have the thing out, do I? Cash app's in the thing. But the other modalities, it doesn't have to be nothing large. But we do cards for the collective if you like the cards. All you gotta do is raise your hand and I'll lock you into place and then just confirm that you've these 3 places here. And this is all the other information you would ever need. Commissions, paintings, readings, consultations. Here's Cash App, the Venmo. Here's the PayPal. Sorry about the handwriting. I was in a rush that day, but here's social media as well. I don't really fool with Facebook, so good luck if you're over there and you friend and you don't get no friend request back or nothing. Don't take it personal. I don't like that place. I'm starting to not like this place either. But here's where you want to go for bookings of any kind. If you want to book a reading, you come here. If you like artwork that's commissioned, paintings, drawings, books, coloring books, character designs, that's clay right there. We're doing a character design. Any of those are available right here. All right. What's that one of? Is that you? You want something? You want something there? That said yes or no, Mr. Love? Because we'll go right through it. I want to do both decks today. And I need to find a new deck because I want to put Santa Muerte. I want her to retire. This is the first deck I started out with. Look at that. Look at that crease in there from all that shuffling. Fancy's not far behind it. But I got extras of her. You know what I'm saying? I got extras of her. I might move to the bigger one just in case. And we're running a sale for those too. Well, it's not really a sale. We're just going to do them all 40. That's the smaller ones, and we got the bigger ones for you people who just like art. 78 images. You can have a great conversation with your friends and folks when they're over. You know what I mean? Get some drinks, get some smoking, all like that. Put them on the counter, whatever. You could have a really good time. But this is the difference in size. This is the regular deck. This is the big boy. Boom. All right. All right. Spirit guy said I did a great job with PR. All right. All right. You want cards, Miss Love? Is that what you're saying there? Is that a yes? Give me a heart, something, float something over here if you want something. If not, I'm gonna get out of here. I still got a few things I want to take care of before I have to go to sit with the kids. Okay, I guess we're not. All right, good peoples, we are out of here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope today's message finds you well. I hope it gives you a little bit of clarity into your situation. And we will come back later sometime. I don't know. We might be painting, but I'm definitely going to be doing more of a daily spread for the collective moving forward. Because I got new gifts and I want to exercise them. All right, everybody. Deuces.